Thanks for tapping in to another Friday night episode. Probably have my mic up closer. Thanks,
Hey, there he is.
thanks for tapping in to another Friday night episode of the Homies Podcast. I'm one of two right now. You got your boy Tate in the building and the homie B Dirt back from Vegas in the first and second round of March Madness. B Dirt, what's good, man?
I am I'm hopped up on all of the medication I can get as far as sinuses goes. Other than that, we're good to go.
It's that time of year, huh?
Well, and travel and I tell you, I love Vegas. I absolutely love Vegas. The one thing I don't love about it, in March I end up out there for 8 or 9 days every year.
I wonder
And
why.
8 or 9 days of straight walking through cigarette smoke at casinos, too much.
Yeah,
Can't deal with it. Too old.
I get it. Eight straight days of it, especially. It's a lot.
Yep. That's all right, though. I
Well,
got the
yeah,
eucalyptus mints. We're ready to go. Whatever we need to do.
yeah, okay, man. We're here a little early this evening. We decided to go early because March Madness is about to get started for Friday night with the Duke St. John's game is the early game in Michigan, Alabama. They don't tip off till 7:50, B Dirt. But
Is that what it is? They go on
yeah.
pregame at 7:35.
Yeah, tip off at 7:50. I just see it right here. But yeah, so we're here a little early. So hopefully we're done by 7:50. Pay is not here yet, but me and B Dirt was talking backstage.
No.
That's not unusual.
No, I listen. I got a scheduled computer maintenance at 7:54.
that's that's how quick you're gonna be out of here, huh, man?
Yeah, 7:54.
Okay. So man, tell us real quick, man, what's going on in the Berg as far as draft preparation? Is like stuff changing down there already a month out? Like what's going on?
Oh, yeah, and you know, for the folks that listen to us that are familiar with Pittsburgh or live in Pittsburgh, man, construction in Pittsburgh makes me a little nervous. Uh, Still have stuff going on a little too close for my liking. To that North Shore, so I'm like I'm rooting for them. These boys got to get this stuff finished up, tighten up. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on with the food and beverage scene down there. There's some pop-up stuff. There's some pretty cool concerts going on down in the North Shore. I seen one place has Nelly. Shorty's Pints and Pubs got Nelly on Thursday night and 2 Chainz on Friday. At just a random bar grill down there in North Shore. But there's like a new wave of traffic. Like everybody who delivers food down that area had to go down and like learn what's going to be open, what's not going to be open, where they got to go to, and where they shuttle from, and all that kind of jazz. So it's a lot of moving parts.
Has it like caused a redirection of traffic? Like I heard that week of the draft, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, schools are going to be closed for Pittsburgh City.
Yeah.
And I hear some like non-essential businesses, like outside of the food and industry and hotel industry and stuff like that, are going to be closed too. And maybe employees work remotely and stuff.
Correct. And we're hearing a lot of that. And it's just a lot. The good part about the Pittsburgh Transit, you could take the T, which goes underneath the river, comes right up in the North Shore, and walk right over. So you can get in and out easily by parking in other parts of the city and taking the T in. And I think you'll see a lot of people doing that because there's no place really to get close to the North Shore. Once you get off the exit, if you're not VIP parking at the casino, You got to bounce, man. You got to go find somewhere else.
How long a walk is it?
I mean, nothing's. If you get into that area, I mean, nothing's more than about a half a mile. But if you don't get in that area, I mean, yeah, you got to jaunt through the north side, which, you know, I'm not real keen on. They have certain areas where Ubers can go for drop-offs and stuff. They got it all mapped out. There's all kinds of stuff you can get online. To go to the main part of the draft is free of charge. You just got to go online and register. There are like VIP experiences with different things too that you can go on and pay for. So they're setting it up pretty good. I mean, it's a lot of people coming into the North Shore, but they're used to, what, 60,000 people coming for football games, and about 400 or 500 coming for Pirates games.
That's a drastic disparity, I'd say, to say the least. But yeah, the Pirates beat the Mets yesterday.
No.
Right? No.
Skeens got pulled in the first inning after 37.
7-5. That's right. That's right. We talk about that on Sunday. Skeens getting bounced after 2/3. That's right. Completely forgot about that. That one's for Claude. Even though I bet Big G, he wanted to bet corner time. You know, I'm not a big fan of corner time, but I said, if you bet a little bit of cash, I'll bet your corner time. So we bet. I bet the Pirates win 80 games. What do you think this year?
I would take the under.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's been a pretty good standing bet. If you take the under on the Pirates and the over on the Steelers, you cash both those.
Every year, just about, right?
Yes, sir.
Every year. That's something about Pittsburgh sports, definitely. That's
Pickens said, Pickens, you big dummy, said Pittsburgh Pirates are officially eliminated from the playoffs.
They're out of playoff contention, one game in. Yeah. Pickens, big dummy in the building. Let's shout out the folks in the live chat, man. And we can go ahead and just talk about, I want you to tell us about the mock. Your B-Dirt's first mock draft was Friday, March 27th. So
how about it? I got one in before April.
We'll talk about what he did for the Bengals here. Pickens, you big dummy, is in the building. Jack Bauer. Shout out Jack. Jay Steed in the house. Thanks for tapping in, Jay. My boy Mark in the building. Mark
Kenneth McNair, new member.
Yeah, I saw that. You know when you get a membership and you join, it just pops up like that was there before we even went live. So we didn't do that now, but Kenneth, thanks definitely for joining. But I feel like we might have addressed that before, but I don't know. But yeah, good call out, B-Dirt. Oh yeah. So I know I saw Boo in the building. Christine Black and Gold, my podcast Boo in the building. We agree on so much stuff, B-Dirt. She has a great football mind because of that. I know that, right? Because we agree on so much stuff. You know what that means on the KnoItAllz station? Oh, that's a my take. That's a my take. When you agree with me on KnoItAllz channel,
my logic is undeniable.
That's what that means, Christine. That's what your logic is, undeniable. Thanks for tapping in, though.
TK. That's an official nickname there for Tyrone Keaton. We go TK.
She said it's been a long day. Glad to have you, like I just said. Mark Malone in the building. The bridge, the first part of the bridge from Terry Bradshaw to Big Ben. Mark Malone. First part of the big bridge.
Pittsburgh Toddy.
Ty in the building. Ty WSG. You ain't gonna give me today, man. What's goody? Pittsburgh Toddy in the building. Thanks everybody for tapping in. It's Friday night. Pay is not here yet, if he's even going to show up. I don't know that he even ever acknowledged that we were going early. I don't know. So
he did not. He made a comment right underneath it.
Right, didn't he? Yeah, okay. So I feel like you should see it.
There were 3 comments about 7 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
He ignored all those just to tell us about a mock draft.
Hey man, I didn't just learn that one. So the other day, B Dare was on with the homegirl Dev, West Coast homie, on the Coast to Coast podcast, and I think it obviously was Ty. He said, "What do you say? FW." And I didn't know what FW means. You know what FW means as an acronym?
I mean, something I wouldn't say on.
Yeah, so you do know.
Yeah.
Okay, good for B Dirt. A little bit younger than me. Maybe that gap between us is why he knew and I didn't. But
Just
I know now.
Just restaurant people.
Just restaurant people. Okay.
Reginald Rivers has one over here. He says B Dirt is Grill 36 still open. It is not. It is now Jason Aldean's.
Yeah, we went to Grill 36 when I was there and we went to that football game.
Yeah. You just said, listen, the food wasn't great. The drinks were okay. But it was fun to go to the restroom and watch all the people walk by because it was a one-way mirror.
Oh, well, it was. I remember that. Yeah. For guys, probably. I mean, because we stand at the urinal and you can watch everybody walk by.
It was very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, man. Okay. You said Red's in the building. The Mr. 901 in the building. Shout out Red. Thanks for tapping in. The homie Somber in the building. Somber always got good takes too, B Dirt. And yeah, so B Dirt, was your spot down there by Grill 36 in that area?
It was on the other side of PNC Park. And
okay.
Now there's a place there called North Shore Tavern. Does like steak on a stone.
I heard of the steak on a stone. I heard of that spot. Oh, so they are where you used to be, your old spot.
Correct.
Okay. No, I saw Locked On Steelers, the homie Chris Carter, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette has done a few podcasts and stuff like that from down there, I believe, because they talk about the steak on the stone and stuff.
I had it all set up, like, because we used to do Ike, what was his name? The defensive back.
Ike Taylor. It's a Steeler scout right now.
So he used to do his show. We'd have him quite a bit. So I actually wired a couple different places in the building that were wired in through the sound system, and they could use all the stuff so they could plug right in and record their show. So I made it kind of friendly for that kind of stuff. And the guy that we used for all of our AV equipment stuff was great. He was killer.
Nice.
So we did quite a bit of those kind of things the time I was there.
Charlie in the building. Charlie, what's good, man? Big G used to be on this show he left around the beginning of the year, I believe. He's been gone for a minute, so it's me.
He sent me a text message.
Who is that?
Big G.
Big G?
We're critiquing, man, that's who I got to go to for my mock draft critiques. Because he done 45 mock draft.
He's on mock draft 45.
Yeah, he's averaging 1.75 mock drafts per day.
Well, we'll go to our intro real quick. We'll come back. Tell us your mock draft. Tell us why you made the moves you made for the Bengals, and then tell us what Big G's critique of your mock draft. Well, that's what we'll start out with. But thanks everybody for tapping in. We're going to take our first break real quick and go to the intro, and be right back, and we'll get into what we got to talk about tonight. We'll talk about, obviously, the Bengals mock draft. You heard us do some Steelers mock drafts already. This is the Steel Curtain Network AFC North show, and on the KnoItAllz channel, Ran Through the Jungle. So, yeah, but, man, like, inside the division, you got the known commodities, Burrow and Lamar Jackson. They've been there, done that, guys. You got the unknown commodities, the other quarterbacks. We don't even know who Pittsburgh quarterback going to be yet. We don't know. But because we know he's on the roster, Will Howard is pictured and Shedeur Sanders, and chances are them guys made the cover of this week's show, but neither one of them might be a starting quarterback for their teams come training camp. So we do know Mr. Burrow, Mr. Jackson will be starting quarterbacks for their teams.
Safe bet.
Safe bet. Money says that. Money tells the story. But yeah, thanks for tapping in. We'll be right back after this.
Yeah. Friday night. Yeah. Yeah. You rolling with the homies. Sports talk with a twist. We keep it real only. Ain't talking that baloney. We speaking the facts. Sports news going on. We talking about that. Tate, hay and dirt. We gon' bring the noise. Friday nights are better when you hang with the boys. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
You gonna learn. Oh yeah, you gonna learn.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
You need anything at all, I drop it off for y'all if my homies call.
And we're back on the homies. Thanks for tapping in on Friday night. As of now, it's myself, the homie Tate, the homie B Dirt in the building. Tate and Dirt. No pay dirt yet, but we're here. B Dirt repping Michigan, who I picked to win a national championship against Duke. B Dirt says the word he wouldn't say earlier, Duke. That word in Duke.
Fly by night.
But yeah, man. So let's talk
Flip
about
out
some
of
more
here.
draft. B Dirt, you did your first today. I see you uploaded it here to the assets. You want me to-
Hey,
yeah, great job. Great job.
look at that.
Curb in the building.
We got room
Curb.
for it since Pay's not here. You know what I mean? That's what I was looking at.
Curb said the money say Watson should be the Bengals starting QB. Said it's
No, Diabolical Browns.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good chance DeSean Watson could beat out Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
you know, in spite of the money, I think the new coach is going to want to win and try the best he can, whatever looks good. So I think Shedeur has a chance. Team likes him and stuff like that. We'll get into that when we talk about the Browns briefly. They get real brief time. Okay, B Dirt, I'm gonna pull up your draft. Go ahead and just break it down and want to explain why you made the pick, who might have been available at that spot, who you decided to take.
For
And
sure.
while you're going over that, I'm going to do a Steeler mock real quick.
All right. I'll listen. I know where I'm at. I know a majority of the people over here are here to listen to Steelers. So don't get your panties in a bundle here. I'm not going to bloviate too much. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to just tell how it's going to affect the Bengals and how it's going to affect our division.
There you go.
It's important.
No problem, B Dirt. It's a filibuster, man. You got the floor. Some So we'll go ahead and let you have it, man. I'm gonna pull up your draft and just go ahead and talk about it as you go through it. Floor is yours. Let's go.
Well, listen, 10th overall pick. I almost stumbled over my thumbs on my phone while I was doing this because I had to go back and figure out who the first 9 teams took to get Sonny Styles off the board at 10. I don't know that this is actually this is the one thing I really didn't think that was really an option or really feasible for us to get at 10. I think it's more feasible that Reuben Bain drops to 10 than Sonny Styles in my mind. Just the way I look at it. So because of who we got at 10 and who was there at pick 42 when we came back up, I knew I had a couple defensive line plays that I liked there. I knew most of the edges that I wanted at 42 were gone. So I was able to flip backwards at 42 and pick up draft capital there. Huge asset for the Bengals in my mind because the Cincinnati Bengals have a lot of holes and they have we've all talked about it. They're very cap heavy on the offensive side of the ball. So they need to fill some holes in defense with young, inexpensive players. And I think that was a good good way to do it was just drop back ever so slightly here and take defensive lineman Christian Miller from Georgia. He's a 3-tech guy that can actually get some pass rush. Our most recent interior line draft, defensive line draft there has not been pass rush. It's been more, and who we've picked up, TJ Slayton, and so on and so forth. More run stuffers. Then we go down to 75 and get our safety. Jelon Kilgore from South Carolina. He's got good ball skills. He's 6'2", 220. Can run fast, hit hard, and he's a sure tackler, which if you've seen the Bengals play over the last 2 years, you know. No sure tackling at the safety position. Then edge, Karan Crawford. This is one of those ones from Auburn. He fits the Bengals mode at 6'5", 265, but he's not the best edge on their team. So I like it because we need more edge depth. You'll see I did it later in the draft. But then we go to 110. I got cornerback from Duke, Chandler Rivers. A lot of accolades there over his past 2 years at Duke as far as second-team All-American and All-Conference and so on and so forth. Then offensive tackle at 189, J.C. Davis from Illinois. By PFF grades, one of the top 3 tackles in the country. I was shocked he was there at 189. I think that's a really good person here that can come in and grow into that role of a left tackle, as Orlando Brown Jr. did sign a 2-year extension. Could be gone after 2 years, though, not 3. Then 199 tight end, Joe Royer, Cincinnati. He can stay right there, just come across the street. He transferred from Ohio State. Good player, can actually get a little bit vertical for his size. And then interior lineman at 221, Jaden Roberts from Alabama. He was another guy that was preseason All-American, got a concussion, missed some games, had some issues there. And that's why I think his stock fell a little bit. But an absolute mauler, and taking a shot at him at 221 when we have Dalton Reisner at right guard, probably a good thing. And then last but not least at 226, another big edge out of Iowa, Max Llewellyn. So Max Llewellyn, I think, also fits that mold and gives us depth on edge. So about as good as I can figure out how to come up with. I don't think I'll be shocked if I do anything that I'm that pleased with the rest of this, I don't know, mock draft season.
Yeah, man. Like it.
We have Claude Bishop super chat here, miss.
Okay. Go ahead and read it. Would you be dirt?
Great wide receiver draft show earlier. Kevin Tate. What's up with the draft party and be dirt? The Bengals suck.
Thanks for the super chat, Claude. Hey man, you know Claude is the resident troll, man. Even us. But you know what?
It is. He didn't have any of his regular subjects here to torment. So
yeah, he didn't have Steelers takes to go off of.
I like Reginald Rivers' text.
Claude said that Styles will be gone.
That's what I said. I mean, that's how I started the whole conversation off. Literally how I started the whole conversation off.
Not a bad draft. Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad draft. I thought you did good. You were heavy on.
But listen,
defense.
if you take Styles out, I think one of 3 people, because of what's needed in the first 9 picks, I think we're going to get either Styles, Downs, or Bain will fall to us. I think we're going to get one of those 3 players, and I'm good with any of those 3.
He said he wasn't trolling. Yeah. I mean, because Bain would have been available there, right?
No, Bain went second in that mock, which to the Jets, I think, which is crazy.
Bain went second?
Yep. Which I think is I could see him coming off before 10. but that would have to be like a Giants or somebody there would have to take him before. I don't know. I think that they're going to take Reese, and a couple other guys will probably go in front of him because of how they tested.
Right. Okay. So what did Big G say about your draft? What's his take on it?
He said it was a very good draft. He said obviously getting defense is much needed, but he liked the fact that I did plug in some offensive line depth there as well.
No, yeah, we talked about that backstage. Your the need for offensive line. You said offensive line and defensive players load up, right?
That's it. Yeah. And if you can dunk a tight end or another running back or another something, you're good.
How many total picks do you guys have?
We have 7, but I traded for 2 more.
Okay. No, so I was working on my Steelers mock, and this sucks. So just real quick, I'll just tell you what I got. I'm through the 4th round. I'm not even going to finish it because it hasn't went the way I wanted it to go at all.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So up through pick 121, I was able to get Omar Cooper with 21. I didn't make any trades, obviously, just trying to rush through this. Keontae Scott, cornerback, nickelback
Ooh,
out
I
of
like that, yeah.
Miami. 4.35 tested 40. We need a nickel corner going forward as Jalen Ramsey, I believe, will play nickel this year, and he may be gone after this year unless he transitions to safety. And they have Eccles, but I think Eccles is 1 year left on his contract. So that's just a pick for the future and a pick that can help right now. I got my boy Rutledge in the 3rd at pick 76. Georgia Tech, offensive tackle, offensive guard.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to get, with my 2nd, 3rd round pick, able to get Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. With pick number 99, the 3rd and final pick in the 3rd round, I was able to get safety out of TCU, Bud Clark. And with pick 121, I was able to get Tacario Davis, defensive back, cornerback out of Washington. And with that being said, I'm going to pick 135. And the best player on the board, B-Dirt, is your guy, Jalen Kilgore, cornerback you got. I was looking for a receiver, but I don't see any receiver worth my 2nd receiver, but I don't see a receiver worth. Like they got, as far as the receivers go, who's available right now, I'm going to pick 135. Reggie Virgil out of Texas Tech. Jacoby Lane, big and slow, don't want him. Let me see.
Yeah, you
Jacoby
almost
Lane.
need somebody can go slot and outside, right?
Yeah, well, I feel like that's Cooper. I feel like that's Cooper, but I still would rather better talent than Reggie Virgil. I mean, I don't even know him. He's like that. 6'3", 190, another big body guy. Jacoby Lane, I know about him. Cyrus Allen, Cincinnati. He was their best receiver. I think I like the upside of the other kid they got, called Jeff Caldwell, but it's way too early to take him. So, yeah, man, like I said, the best available on the board is the cornerback and then the receiver, Virgil. So, as I look at it, maybe I would go tight end, your boy from Michigan, Klein, because we think we are going to draft and need a tight end. So, yeah, but that's another day, another show. I was trying to just do something real quick.
Klein fits what you guys do, too, because he's greatly improved in blocking and put on some weight in his time at Michigan.
Klein?
G actually mock draft Bud Clark to the Bengals at safety. So
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good pick for you guys. I like Bud Clark a lot. What's mine saying? That's
He
all.
says cigarette smoking at casinos are unbearable. When I take my nephews out to play in the Vegas tourney, I cry real tears.
Shout out to the Know It All mod in the building. That's seem like that's a late comment. What you watching on tape delay mod? I mean, like we used to watch NBA back in the day. You said that like the first 5 minutes, and we 30 minutes in. Well, okay. Yeah, it's applicable.
I'll be out in Texas for work here in a little while.
Where you going in Texas?
Dallas.
Boo said, look at D-line. Let me tell her who's on the defensive line. We got Capehart out of Clemson's the highest ranked defensive lineman left. I mean, on top of the board right now. We got Regis from A&M, Zane Durant from Penn State, Brevard from Texas. Like, yeah, pick 135. The highest ranked guy is Capehart at 163. So I don't want to do that. If I was to go offensive line again, we got Rutledge already. I like the guard Jeremiah Wright out of Auburn, but he's ranked the 164th player. If I was to look at tackles, yeah, you got Jude Bowie out of Boston College. He's like, so you know what, B-Dirt?
Who's the highest rated people left for you? I mean, do you have any running back talent there? Or?
Well, I think we've got 2 running backs in their contract, and we didn't give Caleb Johnson a chance last year at Iowa. So that's our rookie. I think if we get a running back, it'd be like either undrafted or one of those 6th or 7th round picks. You know, which is why I was thinking tight end. I think tight end, we need a 3rd tight end. McCarthy likes to draft tight ends.
If you pick a running back up, you're expecting him to play special teams.
Right. So right now, I really want a wide receiver or another defensive tackle or best available. I mean, so I guess as it's looking right now, I would take the guy Reggie Virgil, but he's, like I said, 6'3", 190. I don't know his speed. But, you know, like I watched the draft earlier. You ever watch CBS Sports, the dude that covers the Steelers and former Steeler Brian McFadden?
Mm-hmm.
They did a mock draft. It was so trash, man. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They did it live and like dudes saying what we don't need. Not McFadden, but the other dude. And they picking like pick for sure, like Steelers pick at 199. And they're picking like the 130th ranked guy on the board. You know what I mean? I try and get the best player ranking with the position I need that I feel like I need. You know what I mean? I think they're just going. I don't think they know enough, especially the guy that's not a former Steeler. He's a fan of the Steelers, but I don't think he knows because he was trying to draft a tackle in the first round. He drafted Jaden Proctor in the first round, the tackle out of Alabama. Mm-hmm. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. Yeah, so I don't get it. Some of those guys don't know what the hell they talking about. But man, all right, so let's talk about these quarterbacks in the North, B-Dirt. Well, what are you expecting from Burrow this year that you could ask me Steeler quarterback questions?
Well, listen, I know you said Christine and you have a lot of similar takes, but she said something earlier about the O-line being trash and whatnot for Cincinnati Bengals. Fact of the matter, after about halfway through, they actually played pretty well.
They got better. They
did get better. So they were top half of the league in the last 8 games as far as sacks allowed and pressures allowed. So if we stay in that area, Burrow is one of those guys that always holds on to the ball. So he tries to play hero ball a little too often for me, and he's always going to kind of have issues with, getting sacked. I've kind of come to grips with that now, but I think we're on the right path with that. We still need more depth because if we get hurt, we get pretty thin. So I do agree we still need to draft 1 or 2 offensive linemen or pick one up and draft one, something along those lines. But if we get good, There's no reason that if Burrow can stay healthy and Burrow, Burrow stays healthy and gets average at best blocking. To me, he's a 4,000 pushing 40 touchdowns guy every year as long as he's healthy.
4,000 easy. For 40 touchdowns is that's a high floor. If that's the floor, you think?
I said pushing 40.
Okay, so anywhere 34 to 40.
Yep,
that's fair. 2 a game, 34. With those receivers, that offense. Fair take. So you can't forecast injury, but so if he stays healthy this year, what kind of numbers are you expecting? Just what you said?
I would say 42, 38 tutties and 9 picks.
Say it again. 38?
I would say 38 touchdowns, 9 picks.
Okay. I mean, that's fair numbers for Burrow. I think the 4,200 might be a bit low. I mean, if the Bengals are cooking, I see more 46-ish to me.
I'd like them to run the ball more. When they actually commit to it, they ran the ball fairly well. The problem is when you give your starting running back 8 carries in a game early on in the season, especially, like, wild to me.
8 carries.
Yeah, he had under double-digit carries in a couple games early in the season last year. That's crazy.
So what was it? What was Chase Brown? Was his best game last year against the Steelers?
I don't know.
I mean, he killed us that first game in Cincinnati, so I feel like it had to be one of his better games. He had like a 40 or 50-yard run.
All right, so he had 100 against Arizona, 108 against you guys, 107 against New England, 99 against you guys the second time. So you were up there. You were one of the best.
I think he scored 2 touchdowns that game too, though. But Jamar Chase killed us. So yeah, that was Jamar Chase's
2
best
receiving
game.
touchdowns.
Yeah, Chase Brown did.
Yeah.
To go with Jamar Chase's touchdown and T. Higgins' touchdown to make Flacco look like he was a good re-signing by you guys this year. Yeah. So Christine said he can get all those numbers and y'all can still lose.
Yeah, if we don't tackle.
You don't tackle.
Watch that last year. That's the reason why my mock draft was 8 defensive players.
Okay. No doubt. And the same defensive coordinator back, the boy from what's his name?
Golden that came over. Came back from Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
He was a linebacker coach for Zach Taylor before.
Okay, and came back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, B. Dirt, go ahead and pepper me with some Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback questions or questions in general.
So is it a foregone conclusion that you're going to have old boy come back? That's what everybody wants to know, right?
I think it's a pretty safe bet. I'm 85% for. I mean, believing it happens. 15% still in doubt.
Now, do you put a timeline on it if you're the organization? Like, do you have to know his commitment, even if it's not public, before training camp starts or before the draft even?
Do I think we need to know, the fan base?
No, if you're the organization.
Yeah, I think they need to know. I think they have an idea. I think they need to know they have an idea. Now, will it be announced? Will we still be disgruntled bunch because we don't know specifically? People that need to know. I mean, Mike McCarthy's in touch with him. Omar Khan, they talk. I mean, so I believe in the front office enough to believe they're not just sitting, waiting around. They're going to be left, waiting on, instead of picking up your prom date, waiting on her at the door, and she never shows up.
Yeah, I started wondering when I heard him on Pat McAfee saying that he stays in shape just so his wife wants to have sex with him. So I thought he was doing it to play ball, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of his wife, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and on that McAfee interview, he looked like he was in good shape. He looked healthier than he did last year. He didn't look as beat up. Maybe it's just the rest. He looked like he had been lifting a lot, getting stronger and stuff. So yeah, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm guessing, but I was.
Claude said that Charlie Batch said Aaron Rodgers wants $30 million a year.
Yeah, I heard Charlie Batch. I heard that take too, Claude. I don't think it's about the money. I think he's just waiting to see what they put together and getting attention by not saying nothing because he likes attention, right? I mean, this is a passive aggressive way to get attention.
Yeah, one could make that conclusion from this guy.
With him, yeah, I definitely believe that. But yeah.
Safe assumption. So outside of the quarterback questions and controversy, what would you make plan B on outside of Aaron Rodgers?
At this point, man, plan B got to be just you draft the guy late. I mean, you draft I'm not as big on Drew Aller.
Flyer.
Yeah, you take a flyer. I'm not as big on Drew Aller and Nussmeier. I really probably like the kid out of South Dakota State, Cole Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And K. Klubnik best in like the 5th round. One of those guys compete with Howard Mason Rudolph. I don't want Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't want Andy Dalton. I don't want any of those guys. So
yeah. No shiny things out there.
Yeah. So I got to just bring in one of those guys and see what that looks like. And either one of them two gonna hit, Will or the new guy, or you still go into next year and maybe a little bit better draft position because you never got your quarterback this year and you suck more, and you get a higher pick next year because of it.
Run the ball and play action pass. What the offensive line, I know I think you expected more than you saw early in the year, but how did you guys finish and what do you see still you'd like to see added there at the offensive line?
Christine's Ty Simpson. He played better. He had his pro day the other day. He looked good. He had a private workout for the Jets today, who picked at 16, who on Pump Your Brakes a few weeks ago, I had him in my mock draft going to the Jets at 16, and Big G and Kerr were saying I was diabolical for that, but could happen. Jets need a quarterback. They got Geno. They sit him a year, let him learn, get him in the building. They got 2 first-round picks. I can see that happening. And he looked – I don't know what he did at his workout today, but he looked good at his pro day earlier in the week, the Alabama pro day.
But you know how you said that Aaron Rodgers a lot of times looking for attention?
Mm-hmm.
Them two jokers always looking for a reason to say diabolical. So you just gave them their opening. That's all.
Okay, yeah, but just, if it happens, it happens. Claude, thanks for the super chat. Claude says, have you heard of them taking Ty Simpson in the first? I hadn't heard that. I know we heard it early. I still don't want to do that because I believe every quarterback in the draft next year is better than Ty Simpson. Now, I believe that if you're going to take a flyer, I'd be like one of the flyers. I'd be like K. Klubnik came
what
into
do you
the
mean?
year.
Dan Orlovsky says that Ty Simpson's best quarterback in the draft this year.
Yeah, they did a whole story on that about how they jumped on him on McAfee and stuff on Mike Florio. What's that? Pro Football Talk, PFT?
Mm-hmm. PFT.
That,
good. I like Florio.
Yeah, I like Florio too. Thanks for the super chat, Claude. That Orlovsky might have been used like agents and other people he around kind of drilled it in his head and Not that he went on there to do that, but they talked so much about him, convinced him of that he took that take. And then it looks kind of nefarious because what's that?
Christine over here, she wants to know about the Mayo man. She says she's sick of Rodgers. You want to know about Will Levis?
No, I like those guys too. I like Will Levis. I like Zach Wilson. Not like them, but I first round talent. I like to get in it on the cheap, bring it in. Mike McCarthy's a football guy. Let's see what Mike McCarthy can do, right? My opinion. Let's see what that looks like. I mean, Will Levis.
Man.
Yeah, Mayo in the coffee. I wouldn't mind that. I might even like that more than spending capital on one of these guys and just keep getting players and bringing another young guy that can compete. And then you see that's a perfect person for Will Howard to compete with. Somebody like I'm not about to call him Mayo. Somebody like Will Levis or Zach Wilson. I mean, one of those guys like that. Hey, see, right? But yeah, so I wouldn't be mad at that either. But I feel like somebody like Cade Klubnik, somebody like who's the other quarterback, like that Cole Payton, like one of those guys, really. I'm not saying they're just as good as Ty Simpson, but the value. You got to get Ty Simpson in the first, right? Now, on a QB evaluation scale, pre-draft, is Ty Simpson ranked number 2? Okay, I get it. Yeah, maybe he's ranked number 2. But he's not that far ahead of those other guys. Cade Klubnik came into last year ranked higher than Ty Simpson. Did Cade Klubnik have a shitty season? Yeah. Did Clemson have a
whole
shitty season?
team did.
Yeah, the whole team did. So did LSU, but I'm not a believer in Nussmeier, so I don't want nothing to do with Nussmeier.
I'm seeing a lot of people have Nussmeier ranked second out there.
Do you believe it?
I don't think I believe in anybody in this draft.
Okay, but still somebody got to be ranked second though.
Mendoza included.
Yeah, but we know the market for quarterbacks and how quarterbacks go up the board.
I don't see greatness in this draft. I see maybe a couple solid careers, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree. I feel like I know he had a good year before last. I'm thinking on Cade Klubnik again. I seen Drew Aller at Penn State never really do anything on a top 5 team to start out the year. His play had a lot to do with the reason they fell off a lot of times. He chokes in big games. He doesn't see the field well, and he's not that accurate. He throws interceptions.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Claude over here said they should have got Malik Willis, Levis, Wilson. You can't win with those guys. I agree. And what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now with the selling off everybody else and only sign Malik Willis to a 2-year contract, that don't make no darn sense anyway.
It didn't for Miami. I mean, a 2-year, $60 million, $30 million guaranteed to me for Malik Willis, and you can get out of it after 1 year. It gives him $30 million in the bank. You don't do good, we let you go. We draft our guy. You still get to go get another check from somebody else. That would have worked to me.
I agree.
And that's how I was leaning up until free agency started and the Dolphins picked him up. I would even rather Kyler Murray. I know a lot of people think, he's little and stuff. Man, I could care less about all that, man. I'm talking about the talent. Dudes don't get drafted early in number 1 and win Heisman trophies and all that kind of shit and not be good. Right? So I'm more with that. So back to my Cade Klubnik evaluation.
Hey, if you'd have got Kyler Murray, he could have played for the Steelers and the Pirates.
He could have. And not have to helicopter in the games like Deion used to.
No, he would walk down the street.
But yeah, man. So Cade Klubnik is talented. I know he was the number 1 overall prospect quarterback coming out of his high school class and all that stuff. So I believe in the talent. Ty Simpson played for his dad, played small college, went to Alabama, played at Cal, I guess, in the Pac-12. went to Alabama, had a great year. You know what I mean? But so I get it, but I don't believe in him. I'd rather get Cade Klubnik in the 5th or 6th and take Ty Simpson in the 1st.
Now, you know who else I think's still out there and available?
Who was that?
Mitch Trubisky. You could recycle that if you wanted to try to run it back with Mitch Trubisky. I'm just saying.
No
No
interest. Kenny Pickett's still available too, and we still got Mason Rudolph. We can run it all the way back.
Bring the whole band back.
We can run it all the way back, and I have zero interest in it. You know. But yeah, man, that's my take on the quarterback room. I think Aaron Rodgers coming back. If Aaron Rodgers come back, I don't see the need to even draft a quarterback unless you get the guy. I seen where a mock draft I watched, somebody traded up like pick 121 and 135 and like a 6 to move up to around 105 or something to get Cole Payton. Like that seems like he would be there at 121. I guess if you do that, you really want him, right?
Yeah.
Claude said, "Be dirt, you trolling, man."
100.
Be dirt, you trolling.
Ain't nobody purposely want Mitch Trubisky to do anything but carry a clipboard.
Boo say, "Screw Trubisky."
Agreed.
But yeah, man. So far as you asked me a question about the line, I think we drafted a lineman. I know a lot of people are all hype on a lineman in the first. Vegas specifically, I don't think he'll be there at 21.
What's your biggest need at line?
Oh, left guard. Absolutely left guard. Because Siamalu left. We got a hole there. But they picked up the dude. What's his name from Dallas? Max. Is it Max? Yeah, Max Brockman. No, Brockman. Brockman, that's the dude. And they got Driscoll earlier, but I think they brought the guard in. And I have heard talk about Brockman being moved to replace McCormick on the right side and maybe moving McCormick to the left side. I like that too. I mean, McCormick played left guard in college. He got put in at right guard his rookie year. Last year was his second year. He didn't forget how to play left guard. And Brockman typically plays center and right guard. And he's experienced, and they seem to like him. And I'm as far as left tackle goes, I'm not done with Broderick Jones yet. I like Broderick Jones and Dylan Cook. So I don't see the need to draft a lineman in the first round. Now, if you don't make a move at guard, if that's not your move, then you can draft a guard in the second round or third round. But you need a lineman. I think you might even grab a developmental tackle if you use 9 or 10 of your picks, but not in my first 4 picks for that position. A guard maybe in the first 4 or 5, but not a tackle. I think we need skill guys, right? We need receivers. Probably 2 in the first 5. My mock draft just went. So probably 2 wide receivers in the first 5 picks. And we need secondary, like a safety. We need fast safeties. Got to at least draft 1. You know what I mean? Look who's here to wrap up the show with us.
Welcome to the 8 o'clock show.
Yeah, I had to mute him until he turns his background down a little bit. He did show up on time for 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
8 o'clock is where it's at. What's up, homies?
What's up?
Hey man, we were sitting here talking. Just B Dirt did a mock. I did part of a mock. We were talking about it. Yep. Anything you want to say about the Ravens, man, before we get out of here in the next 5 or 10 minutes?
Who did they pick? Who did you all pick for?
No, we didn't do
anybody for the Ravens. I just did a Bengals one, and we started talking about it, and then Tate said we could talk about the Ravens or the Bengals pick. So I sent it over to him. I sent my mock up. We put it on the screen.
Pay when you're not talking, press your mute button, man. I'm pressing mute right now.
Yeah, why I keep switching mics? So you did you all did full mocks, huh?
I did a full mock.
Be dirt to the full before we got. We didn't do it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it and shared it.
While he was going over his draft, there it is. I did a quick mock draft for the Steelers. So I'm just asking you, what are the Ravens' needs like, and why are you wearing your championship belt? The Cubs won today. I know they lost yesterday. Did they beat the Nationals today?
No, it was an off day. You know, you have off days after opening day. You know,
I know that with the Reds. I didn't know what you guys' schedule was, but yeah, okay.
No, I mean that's pretty much baked in for everybody around the major leagues. In case you have a rain delay, well, yes, you have a rain out on opening day. You have that X day to make up. But in any case, the Ravens just need ballers. They need hoopers. That's all they got to go out there. They're taking best man available. Not to say they don't have any needs out there, but I don't think there's anybody that's super present that has to maybe jump up the draft board or do anything dire in the first round or any of these rounds. They just go ahead and take best player available, and you can figure out the rest as it falls down the chain.
So you don't think at 14 there's no position you want to try and identify and get? Like, I mean,
offensive line.
I think so. Definitely offensive line. I mean,
my philosophy is always best.
You're muted yourself.
Your
philosophy is always. Go ahead.
My philosophy is always best player available. Now, if falls into that position, and I think there's going to maybe 4 or 5 tackles that may come off the board in the first round in this draft. Perfect. I think there's maybe I don't think there's any guards that you should expect to see in the first go on Thursday, but maybe
on Thursday. You don't think Vega gonna go?
You know what? I forgot. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's that one.
And that's who I think the Ravens would target.
First round.
Perhaps they lost Lindenbaum, the anchor of they played poorly in the interior last year outside. Yeah, exactly. But you need strength in the middle. You got to start somewhere. There's no first round center.
There's never any first round centers. You know, you don't draft a center in the first round.
The boy out of the boy that somebody got recently went in the first round. Was it? But he didn't end up playing center though. The dude they got from the Raiders got from Duke a couple years ago, or maybe he went in the second. He plays guard now. Powers played at Oregon.
Kenny Powers,
Jackson Powers.
Or how about this? Listen to this part. Tyler Lindenbaum was drafted
in the first round from Iowa.
25 overall from Northwestern.
Yeah, he was.
Nerd school.
Nerd.
In Chicago, where the nerds ride.
Evanston.
But yeah, man. So we talked about that the other week, Pay, man. Like, I think best available. I agree. If it's a blue chip talent, top 10, we talked about top 10 picks. Like, if you're a top 10 pick and it's a blue chip guy there that you don't need, but he there, you take that guy unless it's a running back. But when you pick in the teens and you got to get, to me, go for a position of need. Don't got to be the biggest need, but a position of need, and not like, what would the Ravens look like drafting? I don't know. I mean, to me, they'd be smart if he was available. I don't think he'd be there. They'd be smart drafting Julian Love if he was available. Ooh. And they got Derrick Henry. But that would be smart.
You know,
you can always find playing time for a hooper. If you can ball,
you can
always find playing time for him. Never mind trying to figure out a hole, because that's how you get fired. Trying to draft for need, and then you end up looking 3 years down the road like, damn, maybe we really skipped over an all-pro, huh? Nah, get the guy. Go get the guy. You can figure out everything else later.
I'm saying, is there a guarantee? I said for blue chip, I agree. If you pick at 14, is there blue chip there? Like Sonny Styles going to be going.
You probably find a blue chip.
Okay.
You probably find one. Like, here's an example. What's his name? Thieneman. I always mess his name up. Out of Oregon.
Yeah.
Thieneman. I think he's going to be a hooper. I think he's going to be one of those guys that you're going to be like, dang, he was really the steal of that first 15. Well, let me not say first 15, but yeah, the kid from Oregon. I think he's gonna be. I think he may be one of those guys. Not, and I didn't mean to say first thing. I mean like after 10 through, he might go before 10, but 10 through 20, he might be one of that guy that might be cold. Now, do the Ravens need a center? No, but you can always
safety.
I'm sorry, safety. No, but you can always.
I don't know, man.
I'm
kind of down on Thieneman.
I'm not down on him.
I'm down on him. I think he's coming for my wee boy title. It's kind of it's petty, but I don't like it.
But no, I mean,
hey, the white secondary player is back, man.
I'm telling you, full of vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, your boy Taft out of Texas, he's another good safety. They playing, a lot of them playing safety, not corner, unless the boy from Iowa. They play for Philly now. The other one, what's his name? Play the slot. Is it Riley? They got a Riley that came from Iowa too.
Is he in Denver?
Yeah, he's in Denver. Yeah, the guy Philly drafted a couple of Steelers like him.
I don't know, man. No, so many white defensive backs, I can't keep track of them anymore.
You spent the first round pick on your secondary. You got the corner Wiggins. You got Hamilton back there, so you're just gonna get another. I don't know who the other safety is. I feel like they may have signed somebody. Now, to me, a better fit would be like at 14 would be Sadiq out of Oregon. Another player out of Oregon, the tight end to replace Likely. I mean, something like that. But you don't just, to me,
that's a good weapon for you too, Pat.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, I'm glad Ryan Poles got the job in Chicago and not pay, because they wouldn't be trending where they're going.
Well, Ryan Poles should have been fired before last year. He had an amazing draft last year, but if I was doing Ryan Poles' job, I'd have been fired a long time ago. But in any case, well, no. That's why it's a crapshoot, Tate. You got there. You can spend the draft pick on something you need, or you can spend the draft pick on something you don't necessarily need, and may get a better player. We see how it works out.
So now, but okay. So in your example, now you got Thieneman back there with Hamilton and Wiggins and all the other guys. They got first round secondary picks, and you still got this big hole in the interior. Lamar Jackson getting crushed, and Derrick Henry just got old. I mean, that's just my thought on how that could work out too.
There's 6 other rounds of the draft,
Yeah, I get it. I mean, which is why in the first, to me, at that point, at pick 14, 15, you kind of identify the best player available of need. Add that ON to it. BPA ON. Best player available of need. In my take. But yeah, man, anything else you want to contribute about the Ravens before we get ready to get out of here?
No, I mean, there's no real other news that's going to be that's like out there. Lamar got his contract. Derrick Henry's still there. No, that's it.
So
you're about 20 some odd days away from the draft.
A month.
Yesterday was exactly 4 weeks.
Yeah. 4 weeks to
29 days then.
28 and 4 times 7 is 28. So today would be 27.
Yep. Good math, B-Dirt. That's why you're the numbers guy. Mr. Cook the Books, one of my favorite movies. You know what that's from? Cook the Books.
I don't, off the top of my head.
Las Vegas. Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman. They go to Vegas, bachelor party. Michael Douglas. That was funny. That's a funny movie. Never saw it, Pay?
No. I know what movie you're talking about. All them old men went to Vegas. No.
Yeah. Funny. Guaranteed funny.
We're gonna you're 40 now. You should watch that, Pay.
40's not old.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting game I'm watching here between Michigan and Alabama.
See,
Pay's
another thing
seen
in
this
common
one
for me and Boo.
before. Pay's seen this one before because every time Alabama has a made basket, they put full court pressure on Cadeau, and he looks terrible.
Every time Michigan makes a basket?
I don't know the fool.
Every time Alabama makes a basket, they put full court pressure on our point guard who transferred in from North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So two things I want to ask real quick. One of each of you. We're gonna get out of here. B Dirt, go to you first. Did you hear the State Attorney General of Florida? Are they having the owners meetings down there this year in Florida? NFL owners meetings? I think maybe. It's in Arizona last year, but maybe it's in Arizona this year. At any rate, for whatever reason, he chimed in. It's going around NFL news and stuff. He thinks the Rooney Rule should be banned. What do you think about that?
He thinks the Rooney Rule should be banned.
Banned. Yep.
Well, for context, he didn't say the term isn't banned. He said it's against the your civil liberties. That's the case. They want to bring it to court for that purpose. And again, Florida go on.
I think that the laws and rules like those, similar things like those, came about because of the liberties, the civil liberties that were against. So I think that's trying to protect those civil liberties, not take them away. To me, the Rooney Rule needs fixed. Doesn't need abolished.
Yeah,
it needs fixed.
I agree 100%. I mean, because at this point, it's really just a check the box interview. Sometimes it's turned into that.
It's wild. And some of the things where you see, to me, more ready coaches get passed over of color to interview another coach that's not ready yet, just to check the box and say, oh yeah, they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
And not actually interview the coach that is ready, because you don't want to have that smoke, basically.
Yeah, no, I agree. Your thoughts on it, Pay?
White men are aggrieved. Got to do something about it.
Somebody had to say it, huh?
The quiet part out loud. No, it's true. I mean, even in the military now, but that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, and it doesn't surprise me that it comes from a Florida politician either. So that's part of the story too, the narrative. But no, so I agree with B Dirt. It does need fix, and it was put in place. I mean, because we had our first African American NFL coach, I believe, in 1991, Art Shell, at the time. You go back to Sid. What's the dude's name? Was a coach in professional football back in the 40s, but wasn't the NFL. Dude was a quarterback too. I believe he played at Princeton. Real smart guy. First African American quarterback that played pro. Let me find out who they are. I don't remember from the Evolution of the Black Quarterback show we did.
What's the score of that game, B?
I still can't believe Brian Flores is not getting another opportunity.
You can't believe that? Why can't you believe that?
Because he's talented. I wish he was coaching the Bengals.
Yeah, he's still suing his employer, though. You know that, right?
Well, they should act better.
Well, it was collusion against him, though. And we know thanks to Bill Belichick. Hey, Brian, congratulations on getting the job. Oh, this is not Dable. This is Flores. My bad.
Michigan's up 2 right now. 17-15.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna let the legal process finish itself out. They'll once that all comes to head, because I think they'll be settling that soon, and then we can then have a real earnest discussion about his career as a head coach. But it's not often that you get 2 shots at it, so he still do one.
It's not often that you get 2 shots at it. If you're who? If you're Brian Flores. What if you
Not
Mike
often
McCarthy?
for
How many shots you
any
get?
coach? It's not often for any coach to have more than 2 head coaching jobs. Once that first one, you mess with that first time, it's very hard to get that second time. If you do get that second time, you better hit it then because it ain't gonna be the third.
Mike McCarthy on 3, Sean Payton, Harbaugh, both the Harbaughs. You got
Both the Harbaughs.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh used to coach the 49ers. He's back.
You know, I'm speaking about being fired, Tate. So
I think he decided to leave to go back to Michigan because they weren't getting along. That's cousin to fire. I mean, Brian Flores got fired because he wouldn't lose Tank on purpose. Which would then mess up his future of coaching because it looks like
it's not often that it happens.
But I keep naming all these guys though.
You named 3, and there's been what, hundreds, thousands of coaches. So what I'm saying is that Flores is due his second one. So he did get a bum rap in the first time through. He's due a second one, and once his trial comes through, once his trial is done, I do believe they'll be settling that before this year is over. So once that happens, then we can really see where his future lies as far as a head coach.
The two African American coaches that got second chances that are off the top of my head, it's Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith. Can't think of anybody else.
Then there's that. If you're one of them, you're really stretching to try to get a second shot.
Well, that's what I was saying. And to lose, for owner to actually lose in purpose in Miami, and you already know it's gonna be tough to get a second shot. I understand why he wasn't with that. I understand his whole lawsuit is on getting that. My question to you, Pay, get out of here. First, Claude, thanks for the $2 super chat. Pre-draft right now, Claude is asking us who wins the AFC North. I guess it's a question to each of us.
Steelers.
Ravens.
I probably lean Ravens too if I'm just going favorite and I'm betting now. I would, But yeah, you guys saw because you guys did that show without me. Very good show though. My production backstage sucked that week. Talked about the free agency class. Since you guys an ESPN article that said the Steelers had the #1 free agency grade out the whole league, and Pay was poo-pooing on B-Dirt. Yours was actually in order of the division, right? The way you picked them is the exact order the ESPN article picked them.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, it was. Yeah. So, just again to say, I always see how my cousin Pay's hate kind of infiltrates his takes a lot of times, especially on this show.
Not true. Not true.
Okay. But yeah, so thanks for $2.
But if you were gonna troll, that was a good episode to troll people on, though. I will say that.
Unchecked trolling.
That's right.
Okay. Unchecked trolling. Yeah. But Pay, my question to you is, man, how you feel about Hubert Davis getting fired? And does this break up from North Carolina basketball as we leave to go watch our March Madness games? Hubert Davis getting fired, and now it looks like the legacy and lineage of coaches going all the way back to Dean Smith having something to do with the program and stuff.
Keep
that's
your
gonna be
damn
over.
paws off of Dusty May.
Yeah, they're looking at him too.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about it? And who's your favorite that you'd like to see as a new coach?
I don't have a favorite because there's no one in the pipeline as far as a Carolina guy. But I agree with Kenny Smith. Whoever they get, if they go outside the family, they are now need to be a Carolina guy. You can leave all the other stuff you did beforehand, leave it where it was. You got to come in and embrace the blue. How do I feel about Hubert being gone? He didn't do enough. I think in some cases, he did get a bum rap. I think his seat was warm before it needed to be warm. But in college sports, you got to keep you got to do more than win. You got to keep certain people happy. And we were just talking about Brian Flores. One of those things he had to outpace people on. One of those things where he was born with. He had to outpace people on in his performance. He didn't do it. Case in point, he didn't do it. There were certain things I didn't like about his coaching style. There were certain things I didn't like about how he recruited. And that's more of an in the weeds conversation. But at the end of the day, I'm not mad at a new start.
Man, Pete Williams with a good take. Ray Rhodes was one also. He was. Thanks, Ray. That was a good nugget there. I forgot about Ray Rhodes. But yeah, no, Pay, I agree with you. It's always told to you when you're young, you got to be twice as good to get equal opportunity. But yeah, man. You think they what about Bobby Hurley? He's available.
I'm glad I have my mic off because I just cussed. No.
I forgot he's a Duke guy. But
no,
yeah.
Bobby Hurley from UConn. No, his brother's a Duke guy.
No, Bobby Hurley played at Duke, Christian Laettner.
I assumed you meant Dan Hurley.
No, Bobby Hurley, who
got
fired from Arizona State. He's available. Hence him.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
You're
gonna hire fire coaches. Might as well go get Jerry Stackhouse. I'm gonna fire Blue Devil. Come on now.
And it had to be tough on Hubert Davis having that boy Shire right up the road there, replace a legend and be doing good as he's been doing since he's been there. So I get it.
I don't want to go down that path. It's, another thing about narratives, Duke has done nothing. They've done nothing. Shire has done less than Hubert. But because they win the popularity contest in preseason, they get all these burger boys. They get they all get all the highlights. You assume that they're doing better. Duke, it's been over 10 years since they had a Final Four win. Carolina's been there 3 times in the last 10 years. But Hubert Davis has a Final Four win. John Shire has none. But the narratives are the Shire is, doing all this other stuff. And Hubert Davis is now out of a job. Again, football show. Don't want to get all hot and bothered about that.
We need to bring overtime back at least once a month to get into hot stuff like this. With that being said, we about to get out of here on a Friday night. Thanks everybody for tapping in. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for the love. Certainly appreciate everybody. And we about to be out. We'll be back on Sunday on the KnoItAllz flagship show, 6 p.m. We're going to talk about the Elite Eight will be being set as we're doing the show. We'll be talking about more NFL draft stuff and baseball opening weekend. Skins getting bounced. 2/3 into it, Claude. So be sure you show up Sunday, Claude. We will give our takes on the. I still think the Pirates win 80 games, though. So I'm going to win that bet. Claude says great show as usual.
78.5. I was doing the Cubs show on Friday. We talked about over unders. The NL Central is looking tough, at least from the DraftKings perspective. From the Pirates up to the Brewers, that's 3 teams: Pirates, Reds, and Brewers. 78.5 to 84.5. And you got the Cubs at 89.5. It's gonna be. It might be a competitive.
Wait, the Pirates were what?
78.5 over under.
Okay, it's a good number.
Yeah,
and the Cubs were 89.5.
Mm-hmm. With Hunter Green,
the Reds were in the middle of those two.
80.5.
80, okay. But they were second.
Mm-hmm. And I put money live on air. I put money on Ellie De La Cruz to win the MVP.
Wow. It's a hot take.
He's got the 3rd highest odds, plus 2,500. Not very good odds but especially considering Shohei Ohtani's in the same league. I get it.
That's true.
But if they're going to win 80 games, it's going to be off the back of Ellie De La Cruz. So
they won 82 last year. He didn't do nothing really special.
But without Hunter Green until maybe August,
July. But okay, yeah. We'll be all right.
It's going to be a ramp up period. So I would say August is to be safe. That's to be safe. You're going to have to lean on offense, and they play in a very offensive friendly ballpark. I like the odds plus 2,500.
And Geno struck out yesterday with bases loaded. But yeah, Abbott pitched opening day. He held them to 1 run. He gave like 6. So there's all like infield hits, most of them, 5 of them. You know, beating out the runner to first, outrunning it to first and stuff like that. But then brought in the relief. They gave up 2 runs. We couldn't score yesterday. So I'm anxious to see tomorrow. It's a smorgasbord of sports tomorrow with the March Madness and everything going on. So, yeah, man, with that being said, fellas, we can go ahead and get out of here. Everybody, thanks for tapping in. Claude got to be talking. He said Cruz sucks. It's O'Neal Cruz is who he's talking about. I like O'Neal Cruz, though, but center field, I don't know. I know he's getting errors at short like Ellie, but they're not moving Ellie. They talked about it, but that's not happening. With that being said, though, y'all, we out of here. We thanks everybody for tapping in. For the homies on a Friday night, your boy Tate, Pay, and Dirt in the building, out the building. See you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah. We the homies, yeah.